Hello, everyone. My name is Wim van Kouwenbergen. Welcome at the Asset Performance Podcast. We are here today with two people from the Watergroep. Filip Vancoillie, welcome.
Thank you, Wim.
And also Cindy Vermeire. Hello, Cindy, welcome.
Hi, Wim.
So maybe for the people that don't know you and are listening to the podcast, maybe you can introduce yourself a little bit. What is your role at the Watergroep, Cindy?
Well, I'm a director of distribution and supply since May 2022 at the Watergroep. So I'm responsible for the pipe network at the Watergroep for the distribution and the supply of drinking water. I have more than 20 years experience in operations management and project management. And now, I'm overseeing the maintenance, the asset management, and all investments on the drinking water network.
Yes. Okay. So, Philippe, talking about the Watergroep, we understand that you're active in the field of drinking water. So, what is exactly your role as an organization?
So I am responsible for asset management and process management of the direction of distribution and supply. And what we do, in fact, is we make sure that the strategy, which has been defined on a high level, is translated to action plans, to projects that, in fact, make it possible for the business, the operational people, to create results, to have results, and to realize our objectives. In fact, So and that's in fact on three aspects or three domains. It's on the material aspect, so the materials, the valves, for instance, the pipes that we install, making sure that they are high quality, but also on the financial aspects. So translating high-level objectives into more detailed financial objectives and monitoring, and also IT. So there's a lot of IT and digital solutions that we are working on. So those are in fact the three domains.
Yeah. Okay. So I can imagine that asset management in such an infrastructure company is important. So in fact, can you elaborate a little bit on the type of strategies your guys are using to ensure reliability and sustainability of the water infrastructure?
So, sustainability, of course, is very important for the Watergroep because we are responsible for the management of precious water resources. And one of the best known projects or programs within the Watergroep is our management of water losses. We call this non-revenue water. And of course, we want to reduce those losses, which is quite a challenge because we have 34,000 kilometers of main pipes, and they are, of course, underground. So it's not that straightforward to reduce leakage. Yeah.
Okay.
So that's one of the aspects. Yeah.
So Cindy, overseeing all this, how do you manage this? How do you get grip on obtaining these objectives?
Well, as Philip already said, more than 34,000 kilometers of pipes, and we only have about I think one person searching leakages per 2,000 kilometers. So you see that our resources are very limited towards the enormous amount of assets. So we really need to do that in a smart way. So we are really focusing on data to make sure that we are looking in the right spots to find the leakages so that our people can work as efficient as possible. And then also we have contracts with external parties to help us as well on the level of searching the leakages, but also on the level of working with the data and coming to the most optimal results. And to work with the data, of course, first you need to measure. So we are placing there a lot of extra sensors and to make sure that we have the best possible view on the water losses in our network.
Yeah, so maybe Filip, you can elaborate a little bit and illustrate a little bit of what kind of technological innovations the Watergroep has been implementing in recent years.
Well, one of the main aspects of our strategy for reducing non-revenue water is digitalization. So that means that we need to, or we want to collect more data. We want to improve data quality, and well, this data is among others is sensor data. So data of flow and pressure in the network. And we are investing heavily in new sensors throughout our network. So our starting point was about 1,000 sensors, and we are updating about 300 of those 1,000, and we are adding 400 new ones. So in the end, we will have 1,400 sensors. That's one aspect of our approach. But also we are focusing heavily on how we can use this data to improve what the technicians on the road are doing every day. So we have software solutions, smart or algorithms and smart software, providing actionable insights to those operational technicians, so they know where are the leaks, where is the highest chance of finding leaks, so they can be very efficient in their day-to-day work. That's one aspect, and of course that's a world that is evolving very quickly. Not just sensor technology, but algorithms, machine learning technology, and generative AI. Those are all things that we are integrating in our approach. Yeah.
Yes. Okay. So if we dive a little bit deeper into this, you're saying, okay, there's a vast networks in the how many kilometers was it? Your network?
Yeah, more than 34,000.
34,000. And then, of course, you have a limited number of sensors, 1,400 in the near future. So how do you select where to put those sensors?
Well, we make areas, and we look that there is not too many kilometers of piping in one area, and then we make water balances over that area to see if we can if the balance is very accurate, then you can easily see if there is a leakage. If you see that the balance is over a too wide network, then we need to place another sensor to split the area in two pieces. And then we have two areas, and then you can find the leakage with more accuracy. So that is how we select the locations, and we first try it upfront. We do tests upfront to make sure what will be the optimal area to have the selection of the data, the water balance.
Yeah. Okay. So these sensors, they are measuring, of course, the pressure, also the flow of the water without any other parameters that are measured.
Well, for now, those are the two main parameters. But we are not just investing in those sensors, because we are also in the middle of the process of a rollout for digital customer meters. So the water meters are being digitized, and this is a whole other world of data that is being opened up, and we are integrating this, of course, in one data platform for our analytics. So that's on water flow and pressure, but we are also doing projects on other types of sensors, like acoustic data. A leak often generates a specific kind of sound, which you can detect with acoustic sensors. But we have been doing other more exotic pilot projects also. For instance, with satellite data to detect leaks. And also we are using tracer gas in specific circumstances to find very difficult leaks, leaks that can be very difficult to localize. Yeah. So there's in fact a whole world of types of sensors, but the starting point is and will always be the flow and pressure. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So in terms of results, if you look a little bit at this at the project where you're standing now, what was the yield? What was the benefit of implementing these sensors? So did you do you find more leaks? Do you manage better to clear out the leaks? What are the real benefits?
Well, we can send our people more efficiently to the right spot, so they know where to look and where to find the leakages. So that is one aspect that is now better. And maybe Filip, you can add something to
yeah
that?
and well, in the end it's the numbers that count, and we calculate the number of cubic meters that are getting lost through our network, and we since about 2 years we can see an almost constant reduction in those number of cubic meters. And we are also benchmarking ourselves with other drinking water companies, and we can see that we are on the right track, which is very motivating for everyone involved. And that's also one of the key factors of our strategy, to make sure that everyone is involved, and that they know that what they are doing is really making sense. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So if I understand well, the digitization was not only putting these meters, estimating and locating these leaks, but is also of directing the technicians very efficiently to the place where they need to be.
Exactly. Yeah. And what is very important for the people is they know why they do it. If something changes in the way they are working because we introduce something new, then we get the people involved. We always start with telling why this change is going on, and then also listening to them. And then after that, when we have the results, as Filip explained, the good results that we see, then we also go back and then we tell them about it. So the people are very closely involved in this total leaky program, and I think that's really bringing a good spirit and is helping to get better results.
Yeah. And well, talking about the leaky program, that is the program that won you guys the Asset Performance 4.0 awards. I do remember that one of the things that the chairman of the jury said is that you guys really managed to to motivate the people in order to go for this leaky project, and it's much more than only the data. It was a real transformation of the organization.
Exactly. So we have also a quote there, everyone is leaky, and we really put that into practice by frequently nominating a person that really contributed to the leaky program. And it's not always the technician in the field, or it can also be someone from IT, or the person performing data analytics, or it can be from other departments, but a lot of people contribute to this program. It is a very known program on a strategic level, so everybody is involved and is helping to get better results.
Yeah. So how did you experience that, Filip?
Well, yeah, it was really a success factor, because we have been redefining our efforts in 2019, because our programs, or our project, in fact, started already in 2013, so that's more than 10 years ago. But in 2019, organizational structure has changed of our of the Watergroep, and from that moment on, we decided that the change management and communication had to be a central aspect of the program. Of course, it was also very important that the management, the direction of our organization was really supportive. They were very clear that it was a strategic goal. This is also one of the success factors to get everyone involved, to be able to invest in the right technology. And in fact, yeah, if you want to get results with data, with a data-oriented processes, then you need to make sure that the people in the fields trust the data and that they are not afraid that it's something known for them. They know what it is, what they can do with it, that they can trust it, and that they can attain results. And this has been, a very intensive 5 years, in fact, working on just on this culture alone already. So and it's very powerful because it not only motivates the people, but also you can it's one of the consequences is that you get ideas from bottom up, which which accelerates your program, in fact. Yeah.
Yeah, well, so that's important that people really work with that data, are not afraid of it, and start using it. And so by doing so, transforming the organization. So taking that into a perspective and looking a little bit more ahead. So what's next on the digitization journey for Watergroep, Cindy?
Well, we are working a lot on getting the data of even a better quality to always get more precise results. So that is something that we continue to work on. Also with the modeling, the right AI algorithms to use. There is also a lot cooperation with other companies, other drinking water companies, also third parties that provide technological input. So yeah, there is a lot of cooperation, and that also brings forward the program and the results. So maybe Filip, you can add other things to that.
Yeah, I think cooperation is really key. Because of course we cannot do everything on our own, and this is not just true for our organization with all our people, but also for the contractors, the technology providers. We really need their solutions to be successful, and that's why we investing in partnerships, not just having a contract with a technology provider, but we try to get those cooperations on a higher level to really make them a partnership. And the ideal scenario is that we can be active on co-innovation, so that we can create new technologies, new solutions together with different third parties. So this cooperation is really central, and it all starts with one very clear and important goal. So that helps to get people and companies together to innovate and to create new solutions. Yeah.
So one of the things that are on the horizon, without any doubt, is the corporate sustainability directive, reporting directive, excuse me. So a lot of big companies will need to start reporting on sustainability. And I'm wondering, is this affecting your organization also? And how are you preparing for that?
Yes, we are preparing for that. There is a specialized team working on that, but and at first we already are doing a lot. So in the first instance, we are making a list of what we already do, and we also doing now the exercise of the I don't know how to call it, the materiality that we need to define to look at which priorities we should focus on. So this is now about ready, and then we will define the priorities about sustainability. But we are sure that the fight against water losses is anyway a large priority.
Yes, yes. And so this digitization exercise will also help you without any doubt in performing and doing this reporting.
Yes, of course, because the digitization exercise is something that is not only in the leaky program, it is company-wide, it is also on energy consumption, it is on all possible levels that we are moving towards more data-driven and digital technology. And so this is a very important factor in the whole sustainability exercise.
Yes. Okay. So perfect. So looking even further a little bit in the future, so how do you see your role as asset managers, as operation manager evolving in the future? Or do you think the focus will stay the same in the near future?
Well, things are changing fast. Technology is evolving very quickly. For instance, we have been talking about getting technology that is very powerful for installing in the grid everywhere. Like it can be in the center of a city center, it can be in a city center, but it can also be on in a very remote part. So evolution of technology will continue. We can see this on the digital customer meters, for instance. But also one of the other aspects is the need to invest wisely, financial resources are precious and are restricted. So we need to make sure that we invest in the right things on the right time. And another aspect that is putting pressure on our organization is of course climate change. So the water resources are getting under stress. Now this winter has been very wet, but if you look a little bit further in the history, the last 5 or 6 years, we have almost all of those years have been very dry. And we need to prepare to get a more robust water network. And one of the first things that springs in mind there is reducing losses. So you get a more higher performance and a more robust water network when this external stress is increasing. Yeah. So I think there's a lot of change coming. And also on the cooperation aspect, I think we are getting on a next level of cooperating with other water companies and technology providers.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. It's clear that also in the future there will be a big need on asset management and making the right decisions at the right time, as you said, and taking into account these financial resources that also limited in order to cope with the challenges. So that's very clear. So okay, so you have been already a few years on this journey. What are for you, Cindy, the biggest lessons learned?
Oh, the biggest lessons learned. I think that you always need to look at the specific situation of the company itself. I come from the chemical industry, and moving towards now the water company is of course is a change, and you need to apply the solutions maybe in a different way, that you cannot just translate it from one industry to another. But I think that the way we do that is the same, because we are working on continuous improvement. I also started with a program for Lean Six Sigma, and people of Filip's department are very active. So the way we move forward, that is the same, independent of the industry. So we are now doing a lot of Lean Six Sigma projects on asset-related topics. So and the way we move forward is the same. And we have, of course, the long-term target of the ISO 55,000, but that's not for next year yet. But we are step by step, we are going there.
Yeah. Okay. So that's already an interesting ambition for the future. So what are for you, Filip, the lessons learned during the last 5 years of the Leaky project?
Yeah. Well, I think I would like to stress the importance of data quality. It has been quite a struggle the last several years to get good data quality, because we are coming from a situation where we have old data logging systems, different systems that were not integrated. So the first steps we took integrating this data resulted in a lot of question marks, in fact, because not all the data was reliable. And so this was an important lesson that you need a lot of people investing in improving data quality, so that in fact people can trust it more and more. And yeah, I think we are halfway. Let's say we are halfway the level of data quality that we want to have, and we're also halfway on the level of trust. So that's one of the important lessons. And well, another aspect is don't be afraid to tell your story and talk about your challenges. You really need to translate this high-level strategy to a story of people. So to a story that everyone can identify with. So you really need to get out of the office, in fact, and talk to the people and use the language that they understand. I think those are the main lessons learned. Yeah.
Yeah, well, and Cindy, you're heavily involved also in the participation of the Watergroep at the Asset Performance Conference and also the Asset Performance 4.0 award. Looking back on that, what were your key findings, and how did you experience that?
It was really an incredible good experience. We had a chance there to talk and come together with different companies, with all kinds of different project technologies. So it was very inspiring for us. And also, we could connect also with people from our own industry. So we saw that there was also a project nominated from Waterlink. So it really put the drinking water sector in the picture. So it was really a splendid opportunity to meet, to interact, to get inspired. So yeah, great. I would recommend it to everyone.
Well, we launch a call for people that are listening that would like to participate with their company at the conference or participate at the award. Be welcome. You can go to assetperformance.eu and let us know that you're interested, and so then we will contact you. So I think with that, Filip and Cindy, I thank you very much for having this conversation, to have this talk. I found it very interesting and inspiring. And I hope that we will be able to welcome you at the next edition of Asset Performance. And of course, also to all the listeners, thank you very much for being here with us.